Hey everybody, today we're debating space exploration and flat Earth, and we are starting right now with Howard's opening statement. Thanks so much for being with us, Howard. The floor is all yours.
Awesome. First of all, I'm not a flat earther, so this is not a debate for me to prove flat Earth. I'm a globe and a space exploration skeptic because there's lots of evidence that conflicts with what we've been told to believe. The first image is showing that on a globe of 25,000 miles in circumference, it's necessary that there'd be a drop in every direction of roughly 8 inches per mile squared. And as you grow in distance, the drop grows exponentially. So we shouldn't be able to see 443 kilometers away, but we can, as seen on the Guinness Book of Records. And then we've got a picture that I took myself, which is showing San Juan Beach of Alicante, 20 miles away at water level. In the daytime, we can see the buildings from top to bottom. Some of those buildings are less than 80 meters. And the best part is at nighttime, we can see the street lights along the beachfront. So my question to the audience, and obviously to Mark, is if you would like me to not be skeptical about the dimensions of Earth, can you show me a vertical drop of roughly 5 meters over 5 miles like we would expect? Can you show me a vertical drop of approximately 20 meters over 10 miles like we would expect? Or can you debunk my image by showing me a vertical drop of at least half, what should be 80 meters over 20 miles? I don't think you can, because I've made many observations in many locations. Now, I don't expect to see curvature, but I expect to see landscape lost behind or below the horizon. So we're told that we're traveling 500,000 miles per hour with the sun around the Milky Way. My problem with that is, not only do we still see the same constellations as the Egyptians, the Mayans, and the Aztecs did thousands of years ago, which they've left for us carved in stone, and everything's still in place. There's no disfigurement to any of the constellations. If we look at the middle image, we can see that not only are we tilted, we're also on the completely other side of the sun in June compared to December, as the middle image shows at the bottom. So we should be looking in a completely different direction. So why is it that we can still see Orion 6 months later, just at a different time of night? Not only can we still see it, but as the star trail picture shows on the left, we see it crossing the exact same path in the sky, no matter what time of year, just at a different time of night. So that doesn't make sense on a globe, because the stars would be completely different, or at least they would cross a different path in the sky, but the angle is exactly the same. It's just the time that's different. Here I've taken some images from the ESA, the European Space Agency, and they don't match each other. And even on their own website, they admit that these images have been enhanced. They're images, they're not photos, as admitted on the website. But even just looking at the images, some have got clouds, some have got absolutely no clouds. They're all different colors of ocean, they're different colors of continents. And we can clearly see the nighttime pictures show where London, Birmingham, Manchester, and Liverpool, all the big cities, are very visible at night. Yet in none of the daytime images can we see any sign of London or any other city, even though they appear so big at nighttime. So I'm not convinced, and no globe skeptic is convinced by these images anymore, because when we go on Google image search, most of them are cartoons. I've been very fair and found the best ones I could to compare them. With snow, without snow, there's no sign of city. They're clearly images, as the NASA website clearly states themselves. So as there's no photos of the United Kingdom, there's no photos of Australia, there's just composite images that have been stitched together from high altitude drone and aircraft pictures, and mostly CGI or just cartoons, which is why the weather reports are always in front of cartoons and never real time or showing us what happened in a storm the day before. Here we can see an image from the Discover satellite, and I insist that anybody that is interested in making their own investigation, please go and check the original video from NASA. It's easy to find on their YouTube channel. And you'll see that the clouds are completely fixed. They've been painted on with Photoshop because the recording is supposedly photos taken over 5 hours, yet none of the clouds move an inch. So that proves that these aren't real clouds and that this is not a real photo, because 1, the moon is dark, 2, the clouds haven't moved, and compare with any other satellite videos, they don't have moving clouds. So yeah, if there's no photos of countries and there's no real videos of the Earth, then it suggests that we're being lied to about space exploration. I'm not a flat earther because there are obviously higher dimensions than 3D, and we are just mere humans obsessed with the theory of knowledge, and we like to pretend we know everything. So we're going to argue between a 3D globe or a 2D or a 3D flat Earth. No, I believe that Earth is much more than 3D. It could be 7th dimensional, hence the 7 heavens that they talk about. Not only has the Bible got over 200 passages that reference a stationary level creation that is not a ball, it's not shooting through space, and it's completely fixed and it's enclosed. Hence why they talk about the firmament. There's historical books like the Bible and all of the quotes we can see on the screen from the Quran, which talk about the sun and moon not being not as we've been told, but rather going around us, that we're geocentric. And also there's a firmament, and the Earth might be either flat or at least a higher dimension, but stationary and enclosed. We also see artifacts from Egypt and many other ancient civilizations depicting a firmament. And these were advanced civilizations that could build things that we didn't know how to build. So we have historical artifacts. We have tools like the astrolabe, which calculated where the sun would be and what season it was coming based on a geocentric model. We have the sundial based on a geocentric model, both which work still to today, the sundial and the astrolabe. And we have a sextant, another historical tool, which wouldn't work on a curved surface. So I'm showing that there's 3 tools. Many ancient cultures have left depictions of a firmament and an enclosed system, geocentric, and the historical books, which talk about the same. My question to the audience and Mark is, are there any historical artifacts, books, or tools that would support the idea that Earth is a globe? I think not, but please try to prove me wrong. Thank you, James.
Thank you for that opening statement, and we're going to kick it over to Mark. With that, thanks, Mark. The floor is all yours for your opening statement as well. Oh, I think you're on mute.
Always happens at least once. Okay, good evening or good morning. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you, James. I will have to share my screen. And thank you to Howard for being my interlocutor for this one. Just let me get prepared. Why not? Yes, and then screen.
In the meantime, I want to remind you folks that our guests are linked in the description. If you'd like to hear more from either Mark or Howard, you certainly can by clicking on their links below.